Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a spiritual philosophy that completely flips the script on one of life's toughest, most painful questions. It's a question that's been around forever, but the philosophy we're looking at today, it does something different. It doesn't just try to give an answer. It basically says we're asking the wrong question to begin with. And it kicks things off with a statement that's, well, pretty shocking. Yep, right there. See, instead of twisting ourselves in knots, trying to make suffering make sense with a loving God, this whole idea just throws that out. It says, hey, what if that's not the right way to look at it at all? It's a completely different starting line. Okay, so if the big force running the universe isn't this warm, fuzzy parent figure, then what is it? And more importantly, where do we fit into all of that? I mean, that's a massive question, right? If it's not all about our personal happiness, then what's the whole point of anything? Well, according to this worldview, the answer has less to do with us as people and everything to do with two basic kinds of energy that make up, well, everything. And that brings us to the core of this whole thing, a fundamental split. The idea is that everything that exists is made of one of two types of energy. All right, so on one hand, you've got material energy. Think of it as the entire physical universe, every single star, planet, all the particles. The source we're looking at calls this Hanunim, and get this, it says that is God. Then you've got the other side of the coin, non-material energy. This is the intangible stuff, spirit, consciousness, knowledge. This is what the philosophy says is our real self, our true essence. And this is the absolute key to understanding it. God, which is the material universe itself, isn't really concerned with our physical bodies, our temporary human forms. Its whole job, its entire purpose is to be like a giant cosmic greenhouse. It's a system designed specifically to nurture and grow that other kind of energy, our non-material souls. So if you think about it, this completely rewrites our cosmic job description, right? It totally flips the script. We go from being these passive creatures hoping to be loved to being active, essential players in the whole cosmic game. Here's a way to picture it. We're the non-material spirits, kind of like drivers. Our physical bodies are the vehicles. And each one of these bodies is like a single cell in the much larger body of God or Hananim. So what's our job? Our purpose is to operate our vehicle to manage our little piece of the universe. And it's through that process, through actually doing things and interacting with this physical world, that our own spirit, our non-material energy, gets to grow and evolve. Now, the source material also gives a little backstory for these ideas, which is pretty interesting. It claims that this whole way of thinking, including the name Hananim, actually started with the ancient Dongi people in the East. The idea is that they were the first to figure out this whole cosmic partnership thing, and that their culture and ideas eventually spread out across the globe. All right, so now that we have that foundation down, the idea that we're here to run the universe and grow our souls, we can finally circle back to that huge question from the beginning. So, what's the deal with evil and suffering? And the answer is a real mind-bender. This philosophy says that what we call evil isn't some mistake, it's not a bug in the system. It's actually a built-in feature. It's a necessary force that exists for one reason and one reason only, to help good grow. And it uses this brilliant analogy to explain it. Picture the entire universe as a giant human body. Good people are like the good bacteria, right? The probiotics that keep everything running smoothly. But you know how you need a few bad germs around to keep your immune system sharp? It's the same idea here. Evil provides the challenge. It's the friction that forces good, and by extension our souls, to get stronger and more resilient. Okay, so if we're here to run the universe and get stronger by facing challenges, where does it all lead? What's the end game? What's the final destination of this whole journey? Well, according to this philosophy, our life here on Earth is basically the final exam. It's the last stage of a huge cosmic training program. You could think of it like the senior year of university for your soul. We live our lives, we learn our lessons, we run the system, and once we finish this last human life, we graduate. And get this, graduation isn't about floating on a cloud somewhere. No way. The whole point of this training is to get us ready for our next big job promotion, becoming creator gods ourselves. The idea is we're destined to head out to totally different galaxies and create and manage brand new universes, all based on what we learned right here. All right, I know what you're thinking. Managing new universes? That sounds huge, super abstract. But this is where it gets really, really cool. because the philosophy brings this massive cosmic idea right down to earth and connects it to things we do every single day. It suggests that stuff we might just think of as entertainment or hobbies is actually training. Think about it. Playing in the metaverse or VR, you're practicing how to build new worlds. Creating a detailed online avatar, you're practicing how to create new life. Studying science, technology, even art, you're literally collecting the tools and skills you'll need to run your own universe one day. So let's wrap this all up. What we have here is a total reimagining of, well, everything. God isn't some being up in the sky. It's the physical universe all around us. Our purpose isn't to be loved, but to learn, to operate this system, to grow from the challenges it throws at us, and to eventually, finally, graduate into becoming creators ourselves. And weirdly enough, our video games and online lives are actually part of that cosmic boot camp. And that really leaves us with one last big thought. If life is a training ground for godhood, if every little thing we do is practice for some grand cosmic purpose, then what are you training for today? Kind of changes how you look at your to-do list, doesn't it? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.